Hi, I'm Jenny Fish from One Big Happy Yarn Company.
And I'm Jenny Doan from the Missouri Star Quilt Company.
And today we're going to finish our One Big Happy Cowl.
I'm so excited about this. It's so cool, and I'm just almost there.
Almost. If you still need new supplies, be sure to check the description box below for links or go to onebighappy.com. At this point, we hope you've knit all your pattern rows.
I'm almost there. I'm almost there.
Now we can show you how to finish, how to bind off, count our rows.
Oh, I'm glad. I can't wait to see how to do that.
Don't worry, I got you.
Awesome. All right, so I just have this little bit of yarn left. Is that enough to tie it off? Or?
To start, we'll have to count the ridges to see how many rows that we have. And once we get to 45 ridges or 90 rows, then we know that we're ready to bind off and finish our project.
Okay, perfect.
And I want to show you how to count. We've got these two bumps right here. This is one ridge, which counts as 2 rows.
Oh, okay.
So it's easier just to count the ridges and then double it at the end.
Okay, perfect.
So we'll go through here and we'll have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44. You just have one more.
Let me do that.
Then you'll be done.
That is awesome. And then we'll
be ready to bind off.
Oh, perfect. All right, so I will knit one more. So how much yarn will I need to save at the end to make sure I have enough to finish it?
You'll need about a yard. That's to bind off and to seam up your...
You know how I measure a yard?
How?
From my nose to my fingertips, just like this. That's how we quilters do it.
That's awesome. That's a great tip.
So I have a little more than enough. So knitting 1 row, is that enough, or do I need to knit it twice?
This side is going to be we counted to 44, right?
Uh-huh.
Okay, so now you're at 45. You are good because we started down here.
All right.
And now you have enough left over.
I do. I have a little more than a yard. Does that mean my stitches were too small?
By judging by what's left over, I'd say you're pretty close, but we can definitely check it.
Okay, let's see yours. That's so pretty. Look at that. I love that. And you're at 45, you're ready to go?
I'm ready to go.
So you're going to show me how to do this?
Yes, you ready to learn how to bind off?
I am ready to learn how to do this.
All right. Okay, to bind off, you want all of your stitches in your left hand.
Okay, let me get back. I'm a little, you can see I'm quilting impaired at this moment. I mean, knitting impaired. All right, here we go.
It's all good. Okay, we're going to knit 2 stitches.
All right.
And we want 2 stitches on our right hand needle.
Okay. I don't know why all of a sudden I'm like all thumbs. I guess it's the finishing jitters.
You're so excited to finish.
I am so excited to finish. All right, so I've got 2 stitches.
Okay, now you're going to take this needle, slip it under the first stitch.
Okay.
Like this.
Like from front to back.
Yep. And then you're going to slide it up over that stitch and over your needle.
All right, so keep the stitch on the needle.
Mm-hmm. Now you slide the back needle out.
Ooh.
And you've bound off 1 stitch. Now you knit 1 more. Slip your needle into the first stitch.
First one.
Up and over and off the needle. No, you don't knit it.
Oh.
You slip it up and over and off.
Okay, so I think I might have knit that first one, but up and over and off.
If that happens, it's really easy to fix. Just pull.
And then pull that?
There you go, yep.
Okay, so 2.
There you go.
So go through.
Uh-huh.
Wrap around.
Yep.
Knit this one, and then
slip into the first one
and pull it over.
There you go.
Okay.
And then knit into the next one.
Knit in.
And we do this all the way across till we have 1 stitch left.
All right, hang on. I'm going to do this. It's interesting how once it clicks in your brain, you're like, oh, okay, I got this.
It's a pattern.
Yeah. Our brains love patterns, don't they?
The repeats, you get into a rhythm. And that's what's great about knitting is when you're in a rhythm, it actually slows down your heart rate, calms you down, and it's like knitting yoga.
Yeah, I know a lot of high-stress people knit. I always remember that football player. I'm showing my age now, but I don't know if you remember, but there used to be this football player, and I can't even think of his name, but he knit all the time.
You can definitely see the benefits to that.
Yeah, no kidding.
It's kind of...
All right, back stitch, pull over. Do you ever talk yourself through the whole thing? Like in your brain?
I do.
That's what I'm doing. I'm like, back stitch.
Like you always say on your tutorials that you have mantras.
Yeah,
when you're putting things together. I totally do when I'm knitting. It's like up, over, slide, off.
That's perfect. Yeah, I think there are more of us
over,
out there
slide
that
off.
talk to ourselves than not, right?
Yes, and when I'm counting, my kids know that if they ask me a question and I answer with like 2, 3, 4, 5, they know to wait until I'm done.
Oh, there you go.
When you're done, you'll have this stretchy edge like this that matches the rest of your knitting, and it will also match your cast on as far as the length and the stretchiness. That's the main goal when you're casting off, not to do it too tight. When you get to the last 2 stitches, just watch me. I'm going to show you how you finish off.
Okay, I'm there.
So I have 2 stitches here. I'm going to stick my needle in the first one, lift it up and over the last one, and now I have just the 1 loop left. And to secure my knitting, I'm going to take my needle out of the loop, take my tail, and slide it through that loop, and it cinches in on itself, and it secures it.
Awesome.
So now we're ready to seam up our edges.
Okay.
And for this, we're going to use this wonderful little tapestry needle. It's actually a jumbo tapestry needle.
Oh, I like a jumbo tapestry needle.
It's got this
I
little...
spend hours trying to get a tiny thread through the eye of a needle, and this is
I've
perfect.
got a trick
Yeah?
to show you. And I can't wait to show you because I've been thinking about it ever since I learned it. And I'm like, I
Awesome.
wonder if Jenny knows this trick on threading the needle. But we'll go over that in just a second. I wanted to point out, let me take these out of here real quick.
It's very nice that they package them so you get one and I get one.
They knew we were going to do this. No, I'm just kidding.
Now,
This
why is
has-
there a little curve on the end of it?
This is so you can slide, it's blunt, and so you can slide under your stitches.
Oh, okay.
And it helps from stabbing your yarn, from splitting your yarn. And then we have this big eye here, makes it easy to slide your yarn in.
It has actually really relieves me that we're going to stitch this together, because in my mind we were going to knit it together and I couldn't figure out how that would end. So the stitching together, the seaming together is like, oh,
And this
so
will,
much better.
And this will be something you're more comfortable with.
Yeah.
Needle,
Totally.
yarn. Okay, I want to show you this trick. I'm so excited. Okay, you take your needle, you take your yarn, you slide it over the top of your needle.
Okay.
You hold it up really tight, cinch it up, then you slide your needle out, and it leaves this crease that lets you just
Oh, cool.
slide your yarn right
Let
through the
me
eye of the
just
needle.
try that. Wait for it. So I'm just going to like...
Yeah, it compresses the fibers and gives a little crease there to slide it right through the eye of the
I have
needle.
to try 2 times. I'm a beginner. I'm a beginner with the needle threading. But that is a great idea. I mean, this kind of needle. I'm going to try this on my little needle.
I wonder if it would work.
I wonder. All right. Oh, there it is. I got it.
Yep.
Look at that. Second time. Perfect.
Awesome. Now, we talked about the little twist, and we saw the little twist when we were wearing the
Okay.
cowl. I want to show you how to make that.
All right.
This is where we're going to start. This is where we left off when we bind it off. So this is our tail that we're going to use to seam it up. We want to start to seam it up on this side. So we're going to pick these 2 corners up.
Okay,
Here,
so,
flip it over one more time where your tail is at the top.
but then this one's at the bottom.
That's fine.
Okay.
We're going to pick these 2 up,
All right.
bring them together, and then bring this side back so that they're lined up like this.
Oh, like this one back here? Mm-hmm. Like this?
Yep, see, now you have this little twist here.
Okay.
And now we're just going to seam these 2 sides up, and that puts the twist in your fabric automatically without
All
having to
right.
do anything crazy. And now to seam these up, we're going to do a whip stitch.
Okay.
I'm sure you're very familiar with a whip stitch.
I am familiar with a whip stitch, but what I need to know is like
Where to put
where to put it.
Yes. Okay, so we're going to show you. This is your bind off edge where you have the last stitches. And
Okay.
this yarn is really bulky, so even if you don't hit the exact spot, you
It's
won't be
not
able
gonna-
to tell.
yeah.
And then
Forgiving. We call that forgiving. I love it.
very forgiving.
Very forgiving.
So you want to attach both sides. You're going to take your needle and slide it into the corner of the side, the opposite side.
Okay, let me see. All right, so here, like this,
And
go
pull it
straight
through.
across.
Yep, straight across. And if you look and see these stitches, you just want to go under a stitch from this edge
Oh, okay.
and under a stitch from that edge.
And we stitch in every one.
I like to do every other one.
Okay.
Some people do every one. I think it adds bulk when you do every one. So by doing every other one, you kind of give yourself a little less bulk in your seaming.
Okay, so then this right here, this is the stitch I just came out of, so I'd skip this one and go here?
Yep.
Okay.
And just slide under that little ledge there and through the next one.
All right, now it looks like maybe I should have trimmed my yarn a little bit so it was a little bit shorter. This, because I'm like,
feel free to do that because you really only need a yard. And I've got some scissors right here if you want to trim that.
Oh no, I'm already threaded, so I'm good to go.
But
Okay,
feel free to trim that down to about a yard.
So skip one and sew one. A new mantra for me. All right, and then we are skipping and sewing. Yeah, I guess there's not going to be, look how, that just like blends in.
Absolutely,
That's
with this
so
chunky
cool.
yarn and the halo that it has on it, which is the little fluff that you see, it just sucks that stitch in and hides it. Very forgiving.
That's awesome.
As I'm going through here, I'm just kind of leaving it comfortably loose. I'm not pulling it extremely tight. This will help on the other side so that you don't have a ridge.
Okay.
It just seams them together.
So I could have a ridge, but we could loosen that up. So I'm just going to kind of wait and look at it after I'm done.
Yeah, and we can always take the tip of this blunt needle and go through and kind of even up our tension as we go along.
Good idea. All right. Maybe I should have had those scissors from you. Oh gosh. All right.
Well, then I'll show you how to weave. Now that we're at the end, we're going to show you how to weave in your ends that hides these little tails into your fabric.
Okay. Should I look for the ridge?
Okay.
Oh, mine actually looks really good.
Yeah.
Look in there. You can't even really see. I wouldn't even know where I did it. Amazing.
Magic!
That's awesome. All right. So now
we are going to show you how to get rid of these tails and to weave them in.
Okay, now I have a tail on either side. Is that because I'm left-handed?
No, it's just because we ended on different rows.
Oh, okay.
Mine, I did one less row than you did, so mine is on the other side. But that happens.
So then right here, where my stitch comes out, I need to know how to...
Now I'm going to show you how to lock this in and hide it in your fabric.
Okay.
And keep it stretchy so you don't lose any of your...
All right, I do want the scissors.
tension. Okay.
I changed my mind.
Not a problem. Let's fix that for you. Because at this point, we're going to weave in about 2 inches, about 1 to 2 inches to secure this thread or this yarn.
I always wondered what happened to the tails.
Okay, I'm going to show you. This is a little, let's see. You're going to be, it's called a duplicate stitch. So you're going to be hiding this inside your already knitted fabric by following the stitch that you've already created.
Okay, let me watch you.
Okay, so I'm going to go through here and catch this side of this loop right here. Let me grab this so I can show you a little better. See this blue stitch right here? We're going to duplicate that. Okay. And I'm starting on this side. I'm coming down. And now I'm going to move over to the next one because that was just to secure my yarn in there. So I'm going to pull my knitting apart. I'm going to find this. This is curved up like a U. And then this one is curved right here down like an N. So I'm going to go through my U and follow this N up here. And then around and then back through the original U that we had. And when I stretch it out, you can see I just duplicated that stitch by following the stitch pattern and it blends right in and you can't even see it. So we're going to try that again. Go under this one, up. I'm going to follow this in right here, back down through the U, and then back down through the first in.
All right.
And then you can always pull your fabric apart to kind of see where you're at if you get lost.
All right, so how far do we do this?
You do it about 1 to 2 inches. So you're really good in there.
Okay.
You're about 1.5 inches.
And then what?
Then, scariest part of all, you just clip your yarn right.
You don't like knot it?
Nope, no knots.
No
knots in knitting. Well, except
right.
for the slip knot. But then you pull it out. So.
All right, so I need to clip mine then. This does feel scary to me because it's like, I want
it's just like snipping your threads
like
when you're
where do
done.
you clip it right up to the edge?
Yep, right there. And then when you pull your fabric and stretch it out,
It'll just kind of slide
it
in.
disappears.
And it did. So then I do the same with this?
Yes, we'll do the same with that. And then we'll block it, let it dry, and be ready to wear it.
Awesome. You mean I can't just wear it? What does blocking mean?
Blocking. That is where you basically give it a bath. You let all your fibers relax, and then you can make it lay flat, let it dry, and then it fluffs it up, it relaxes your stitches, and it gives you a better fabric at the end.
So on the blocking, can that change the size of it?
Yes, depending on the fibers that you're using to start out with, blocking can change.
So sometimes that's probably a good thing, right?
Yes, if
if you were short a row or something like that, then blocking would help you.
I wouldn't use blocking to fix that kind of
okay.
issue, but for our cowl, it will help if you realize that you need to stretch it out a little bit. Once it gets wet, this is merino wool, superwash, so you can move it a little bit and it'll hold that shape.
Yeah.
And then you'll scooch over one.
Oh, I'm done.
Yeah, you are.
I am done.
Clip it.
All right, a scary part. Cut the yarn. Well, this is awesome. So cool. So then that is oh, look, you can't see it at all.
It's absolutely disappeared on us.
That is awesome. Oh, we did it.
Yay!
We did it.
Good job. Now we're going to talk about blocking, and I want to show you the difference. This one is the one we just finished. It has not been blocked yet, and this one has been blocked. You can see how the fibers have relaxed. It's stretched out a little bit. It's gained a little bit in length. And width is almost about the same. This happens when the water infuses into the fibers and just kind of relaxes, and then you can almost mold it like clay and then let it dry.
So do you have to block?
You don't always have to block. On this one, we do recommend blocking because it gives you a little bit more length to go around your neck, a little bit more room around
so you're not choking.
Exactly.
That's good. That's a good thing. All right.
Okay, so you ready for this?
I'm ready to learn.
So we have a bowl of some room temperature water, a little bit warmer. We've got some wool wash in here, whatever kind of soap that you like for your wool. It's really knitter's preference what you prefer. And then you just...
And there is certain soap that you should use for this?
Yeah, you can, well, there's wool wash, and then there's a brand called Soak. You can even use baby shampoo. It's a real
it has to be really mild. Okay.
Soap.
That makes sense.
Because the fibers have lanolin in them, and you don't want to strip that. That's the main reason why you want to use a real mild soap. So then you just soak it. You just put it in here. You let it sit for about 30 minutes so all those fibers can soak up the water.
Okay.
Once it has set for 30 minutes, you want to massage a little bit just to get that worked in there.
Right.
You never want to wring it.
Okay.
Like you would wring a towel. You don't want to wring it. You just want to gently squeeze all the water out.
Okay.
You just squeeze, and then you bring in your towel. I'll show you with this towel I have over here. Bring in your towel, and you're going to lay it out. And here's where the fun part is. You kind of just mold it. And if you want to feel, it kind of almost even feels like clay.
That's a completely different feel.
And you mold it to what you like. Press it down. And then here's a trick. You take your towel, and you roll tight, 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 tight. And that helps wring out the last bit of that water without disturbing the fibers.
So then how long, do you just leave it sit there till it's dry?
Then you lay it out. And then this one, it took me overnight.
Oh, okay.
Because the fibers were so thick, but I just laid it out.
Chunky, thick and
let
chunky.
it sit there, and then it dried, and I was able to wear it the next day.
Awesome. So I feel like this was a lot less scary than I thought it was going to be. It went together so easily. I learned some really interesting things. I mean, I didn't know how to block. I didn't know how to cast off. I didn't know how to cast on. I learned so many things. And I'm so glad, to be honest, that we have a video where I can go back and watch it, because I have a hard time retaining that kind of information, and so that video is going to be super helpful.
Yes, and we've made some additional videos with little side clips of all the processes, and you can check those in the description box on the YouTube channel for One Big Happy.
Awesome. So be sure and subscribe, because this is going to be cool to see what's coming up.
Yes, thank you.
We'll see you later.